Hello. What effects will Trump have on the world? Well, many effects, long and far reaching, but I want to focus on six today that are immediately apparent. The first is that Trump will drive European integration, particularly on defence. The EU will take on more NATO like characteristics given the unreliability of the US as an ally, including possibly some kind of defence guarantee of mutual defence like Article 5 of NATO. And as a consequence of this, maybe there'll be a more assertive EU foreign policy in general, for instance, on the Middle East. And it looks like other countries outside on the periphery of the EU, like Norway and the UK, will move closer. Taiwan, the US commitment under Biden to defend Taiwan in the event of an attack from China seems to have evaporated. Trump has certainly not repeated it. So the Taiwanese will be watching closely as the US sells Ukraine down the river as well. Gaza, Israel, or Palestine, Israel. It's pretty clear the US has given a green light to settler colonialism in the West Bank and in Palestine as a whole. There's no talk of consequence or pressure, let alone sanctions on Israel for the violent occupation of Palestinian land. More strategically, three things. First of all, the US kind of reach as a neo-imperial power. The US currently has military bases in an extraordinary 178 different countries. But the new Defense Secretary, Hegseth, has said that the US defense budget should be cut by 8% year on year. And in 5 years, what that means is a cut of nearly 40%. That's pretty extraordinary, particularly when you contrast it with what's looking like major European rearmament in response to the US repositioning under Trump and the continued Chinese build-up, military build-up. Now, I wonder how long that US disarmament, because that's effectively what it is, will survive the hawkish posture of many of the Trump administration towards China. I want to finish up by talking about the two major threats to human existence. One is nuclear weapons, nuclear proliferation, the withdrawal of American security guarantees, whether explicit or implicit in the way that Trump has talked about allies, the way that Hegseth and Vance have talked about allies, is causing a lot of anxiety in places that have hitherto seen those security guarantees as cast iron. There's already talk in South Korea, Japan, Poland, even Germany of these countries developing their own nuclear weapons to guarantee their security. The Non-Proliferation Treaty is under strain as never before. Arguably, it's a dead duck. I'm going to talk more about this in a future post. Climate change. The US withdrawal from the Paris Treaty is a lethal signal to the rest of the world, some of whom, such as oil-producing countries, will be delighted. US domestic policies such as opening Alaska for new drilling, removing subsidies for electric cars sends a similar message. Though one paradox is that Trump's tariffs may cause a reduction in global GDP, or at least in growth, and that may mean fewer carbon emissions, lower carbon emissions, but it's hard to see this as a silver lining.